Yes, indeed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the weekend, and I now have another day of data that I've collected. And I think I might be starting to see a bit of a trend. Still too early to determine, but we now have 4 days where I've effectively taken the big winners on the market each day and sort of followed them for the next several days just to get a feel for what they do after having a great day. So October 2nd is what I'm most interested in because I now have 4 days of data, and then you can see October 3rd sort of going down and so on and so forth. And what I am interested in is sort of EFN, KL, MFI, PVG, AEM, and ABX all had were the top on the TSX for October 2nd, which was Tuesday. Yes, last Tuesday. And now what I'm looking for is essentially like the pattern I've seen is the day after a big win, there's a reasonable sell off. And I've seen this sort of across the board so far. So you can see out of the dozen or so stocks that I've been following so far, all but two of them had a down day immediately following having a massive upswing. And even the ones that didn't have a down day, only a 0.25%. And then this is sort of an outlier, this Canadian Pacific Railer, having another 2% win. But the first day it didn't have a massive move. It's the lowest move of all of the moves I have so far. So again, it's a little bit of an outlier that it didn't have a huge like 5+% move in the analysis. So it can almost be removed uh, when we're looking at it. So if you sort of theoretically remove this guy, you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13 out of 14 stocks had a down day, and this is the average right here, so about 1% down, 1.6% down. And even with this one, it's 0.5% down. So then what I started looking at was sort of like after the big move and then after a down day, people sort of getting their money off the big move. What happens then? So I was just taking October 2nd's numbers and sort of analyzing, so you take EFN, it had its big up day here, and it pulled back. And now if I were to come in near the end of business, let's say, on the day after it had its big move, how would I be doing now? So 792 or so is where it closed. And would I be in the green if I came in the day after it had its big up move? Like I'm talking end of day or the beginning of the third day. So for this one, we're looking at, again, about 792. And right now it's sitting at 805. So that would be a win. MFI, big up day, pulled back a little bit. 3260, let's say, we'll call it 3260, and it's trading now at 3308. So yes, a winner. AEM, big up day, big sell off the next day. So 42.94, and now we're at 45.45. So it's another yes. So that's three in a row. That's pretty cool. KL, big upsell or there's a big day, pullback, and we're looking at 25.12, and we're currently sitting at 24.93. So this one is a no. So 3 out of 4 are up, and we're talking about buying near the end of the day after their big move. ABX, looking at around just under $15, say $14.95, and right now we're at $14.85, so that's a no. And then PVG, October 2nd was their big pull up, so the next day would have been 10 and a quarter, and right now they're sitting at 10.56, so that'd be a yes. So again, 4 to 6 stocks, if purchased the day after their big move, so if purchased near end of day here, 4 to 6 of these guys would be in the green. I don't know the exact numbers. I mean, you can see the average here, losses. So the day after the average gains was 1.5%, and then the day after it's actually pretty much break even with this one this one stock that came back another 6% a few days after the big move, sold off 3%. But if you look at you know, the second day and the third day, for example, you have mild loss followed by decent gain, little gain, little gain, little gain, little gain, big gain, reasonable loss, little gain, little gain, little gain, medium loss. So overall, if you just start following these guys across, you can see you know, the second and the third days are decent ideas. I mean, it's actually the third and the fourth day technically, because this is sort of the first day, this is the second day, and then the third and the fourth. And then this pattern again, when you go down to October 3rd, we don't necessarily have, well, we don't have this data yet, because that will be able to, we'll be able to find that out on Tuesday, at the close on Tuesday. But if you look at October 3rd's data, we can see, so October 3rd was the big pull up, and you know, you're now looking at 1-2 days post October 3rd, and you can see here, you know, 2 losing days in a row. So I'll be curious to know, but even though this one had a second losing day weed stock, on average, if you were to purchase at, you know, close the day after the big move up, on average this these stocks are up 1.13%. So you can see 1.47 and 1.13, the two averages, and this is again 2 days after a big up move for these stocks. So again, I'm not making any conclusions yet. I'm starting to see some patterns, and I'm going to continue to run this data. Eventually it should be a big giant line, so these guys will probably have 8 or 10 fields of data, and it'll slowly sort of continue to go down. So that's all I got for you now. I hope you're enjoying this process that I'm going through. I certainly am finding some interest in it, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes, indeed.